Okay, I spent about an hour and a half yesterday trying to set up the You Need a Budget website. I found a gentleman on YouTube that I kind of followed along with. His name is Nick True, Mapped Out Money. And basically, what I did is I created a new plan. I did a test one for you guys, and gonna kind of break it down so it could be a little bit digestible for people who are just starting. Let's say they create these categories for you at the beginning: bills, needs, wants. You can edit all of these. You can keep adding, um, different ones. Like if you want to just like erase mortgage and put rent, or you just want mortgage, you could add like little icons. I see the only way I can do this is on my phone. So I download the app as well and it syncs together. So yeah, you could go about and kind of edit all your bills in here. So like, I don't like to use the word utilities. I'll use like electric, since everything for me is like separated. The bills, let's say I pay water, and yeah, you can. This is on the desktop, so you can like go about and drag and drop it wherever you want. And then you can add here the needs. So if it's like, instead of transportation, you want to put like gas, um, whatever makes sense to you. And again, you just use this little guy and add um, things underneath this topic. If you want to do a whole new category, like how it has bills, needs, wants, you just do category group and you can say whatever you want to call it, car. And again, you can drag and drop it, toggle open and close them. So like, let's say for the car, like you're trying to save for tires, you can add that there. And yeah, just toggle on and off. I'm creating this video for you because I found it incredibly difficult with the videos I found on YouTube. And I don't know if everyone has 1 hour and a half to dedicate to kind of learning the platforms. This is just to like get it started. So if you need more in depth, obviously watch longer videos. Okay, what did I learn next? So we build the categories. We know how to do that. We know how to edit and add. These are category groups. These are the categories within the groups. So we know how to toggle on and off. We know how to add one here. We know how to take one away. So for instance, if I'm not trying to save for a vacation, I can right click it and click delete and it goes away. Let's say you want that to come back. You can do Control Z or Command Z on the Mac and it will come back. And again, then you could just either hide it or just delete it. Let's say I'm not saving for a vacation, so I would just delete. All right, so got this down. I understand this. I did link my bank accounts so that I could see factual numbers, but if you're not comfortable with that, there are other ways to do that. You can add an unlinked account. You can say you're checking and you manually add it in there. So like if you know in your checking right now you have $1,000, add it in there. And you'll see it come over here on the left side. Again, we're in our test plan. So you go back to plan to see this navigation. So now we added our checking account. That's where we're going to manually add stuff into, like cash we're spending, cash we are getting in. And so you can keep doing that. So you could either connect your accounts or you can just do it manually. So like if you have a savings account and you have in there one that I'm going to put something different so it doesn't look the same. So like you have 1,500. You're going to see it here, savings. And then like, let's say you don't want to link your credit card account. You can give it a nickname as well and say, my Chase credit card. And what kind of account is that? It's a credit card. And what balance do you have right now on it? 2,000. Okay. So now we have this established, and they create its own line for credit to kind of show you you're in the negative already. That's what I understand. So let's say we added all our accounts, whether you want to link them or not. This is manually adding them. And if you did link them, you would see all the updated amounts here. And then every so often, the system would ask you to approve new purchases that come in to like your checking, and then assign them to whatever categories you created. But right now we're going to do manually entering the stuff. So next step is creating like a budget plan. Let's say this thing says you have ready to assign $2,500 because it's adding your checking and your savings. If you want to just keep your savings separated, I would say create a savings account, a savings like category. And let's say you have 1,500 in your savings. You want to move it here. So we want to put here we want to move here 1,500. And then we want to come into our savings, add a transaction. And flow 1,500 and save. Go back to our plan and see how it now just has 1,000 here. $1,500. Okay. Now you have 1,000 left to be using. Close that, leave it at 1,500. And then what you can do is start making your plans for each item you have here. So for the mortgage, you can create a target and say monthly, I need to pay $500. I need it by the last day of the month. And next month, the difference between this is that this regenerates 500 again for next month. So our rent or our mortgage is more or less going to be the same price every single month. Refill is like if you set yourself up saying, I'm going to spend $80 a month on gas. You don't spend the full 80. The next month, it's not going to add an additional 80. And then you have like 160. It's going to be whatever you have remaining of the 80 from 1 month, tapping it up to 80 for the next month. So we'll roll it over. But for rent and mortgage, we want to say set aside another 500 to keep the same amount for next month. And we want it by the last day of the month. Save the target. The phone, same thing. monthly, let's say you pay $150, and you pay it by the 15th of each month, and you have to do this every single month. You have to pay $150. Internet, same thing. Monthly, I pay $70. I need it by the 7th of the month. Next month, I want to set aside another $70. And you keep doing that for each item. For the groceries, this one, I do by the month as well. Let's say $300 a month. I need it by the last day of the month because it's just going to be for the full entire month. And I want to refill for the next month. We're in July 2025. So for August, I don't want to keep growing. I don't want to have 300 this month. If I don't use 300, I don't want to then save next month 600 for a grocery. I want every month to be 300. So whatever comes out remaining from groceries of this month will roll over to the next month and constantly be 300 per month. And that's it. And then, you could always edit this if you need to, but that's why I'm choosing the refill. And yeah, same thing here. Gas. Let's say monthly, I want to spend 80, or I estimate I'm going to spend 80 a month. Need it by the last day of the month, and we're going to refill. And kind of do that for all of your options. Again, you have like annual options. So like, let's say for instance, let's say the subscription plan you paid for a year, $100 or whatever. So you go to the yearly, and let's say you already paid it this month. You're going to choose it for the next month of when it's going to, the next year of when it's going to expire. So we're in July 2025. Let's say you bought it today. You would go, July 8th, 2026, I'm going to have to pay this. So you save the target, and it's kind of telling you monthly what you will need to save in order to make up $100 to pay it off next year. So it's pretty interesting. So this is kind of like what I grasped, and this is how I set up my own budget. After this part, what happens is that, let's say you get a paycheck. Right now, let's say your paycheck was $1,000. It's in there. Let's say you get paid again July 6th. Your company that you work for, this is ready to assign money because you're getting money inflow. So like you just got paid $200 from a job. You save it and it gets added to your total amount in your checking. Let's say then also from your checking account, you went to the store today and you bought something. I went to the grocery store. Whatever, you put your grocery store there, you select your category. That's why it's important to choose your categories. You're going to go to groceries. And this is outflow. So how much did I spend? I spent $15 at the grocery store. Save it. And you see how it starts deducting. So now you go back to your plan and you start seeing in your groceries, we're going to fund it because we have money available. So remember the money that we fund here, we said $300. You could click this button. The $300 of the auto assign, because you set up your target. Auto assign will populate it. So 300 was what we were saying each month we're going to be spending in groceries. And I spent today $15. I have $285 left to use for this month. That's how that works. So you just keep going into either your checking, savings, however it works. Let's say, outflow, inflow. let's say from this amount, now that we have money here ready to assign, we want to start populating our sections. So what I understand is that you can, since we already created the targets on these, we can click them all, the ones that we have the targets set up as, auto assign, and fit in the money there. You see how it gets auto assigned? Click them and you see how the money you have left over in your bank went down. So now what happens is that your check came in, you put it into your checking account here, and you funded each category of what you need to spend each month. And it kind of shows you what you have remaining. And you're always supposed to assign this to somewhere, so it's not just sitting in your bank account and in your head you think you want to spend that. So like you can move, that somewhere else, like savings or however you see fit. So what I understand, let's say I just got my paycheck, I entered it in here, I funded or I signed from my paycheck to the mortgage, all these places that you see the amounts filled out. Now I'm going to start spending. So like I go in and let's say I paid my mortgage payment, and we said our mortgage was $500 a month. So outflow, we paid it. So we save, come back to the plan, and you'll see that it's fully spent. So now you have nothing available here. And you keep doing that per line after you pay that bill. And then you have to make sure that if you are going to be doing this per month to save for the 100 for the annual subscription, you set that aside as well, and you add it to your checking. Add transaction. We said $770. This is going to be for the subscription. So we click it here. $770. Save. So it keeps taking it from your checking account here. Every time you pay something, it will keep deducting from this amount, so you get your factual, or what's going to be as close to what's in your checking account here. That's what I understand. So each month you come in, or every day come in and kind of check that out and make sure you're paying your bills and like not going over budget. Let's say, for instance, let's delete this transaction. Let's say it doesn't start this month. We can delete this. And let's say, you know what, actually, I don't need to pay $770 a month because I don't get charged this month for this subscription. You could come over here to this green area, click this line, right click the $770, or actually click this. Give me a second. Don't put the fund there because we don't need to assign it. Yes. So let's say whatever it is, a subscription plan. And normally Netflix is $15 a month by This 14th of the month. Set aside another save target. Let's say this month you don't need to pay it. Hold on. Okay. You would just snooze for the month. So let's say you don't have to pay it this month, but next month you do. You would repopulate it here the 15 $15. So that helps. Like, and if this month I don't have to pay, then you need a budget subscription because they gave it to me a free month. I would come over here, click the line, and snooze for that month. And I wouldn't have to budget it here. So that's how the snooze button works. And yeah, let's say I am someone who, saves and I want to put in this last $100 I have remaining in my bank account. I want to put it into my savings. I can do that. Assign manually $100 and I want to put it to my savings account. You see how it went up. So this is good. Let's say I spent in gas. I said I have 80 for the month and I spent, actually my gas was $85. I spent 85 at Chevron. You're going to see you have one overspent line. You're now negative $5 in this line because you only had 80 budgeted. So basically you could click over here and you could cover the spending from somewhere else that you have money. So like groceries, you still have 285 remaining. You could pull from here and it resolves it. and your gas, you took 5 out of here, so now you only have 280 left from groceries. And your gas is fully spent, and you increase it to 85, and that's it. And you can keep manipulating lines that way. So, like, if you had a dining amount set for the month, you see how this is. You can never have this red because you want to make sure you're using money that you actually have. So maybe you don't have 50 to spend for that month for dining, so you just can't dine out. Or you can pull it from groceries again. And remember, then groceries, you have less money remaining. But now you're dining out money, you have $50. And then you can keep adding in your checking. So if you go to Chili's, dining out, and you spent there 25. Now you know that your dining out amount, you only have $25 remaining. So you could either leave it there if you know you're going to keep spending for the month out of this line, or you can move this around. So, like, if you have 25 remaining here, I can move the 25 to groceries because I know I'm going to be buying more groceries this month. Kind of keep manipulating it like that. You empty out your dining, you only spend 25. That's all you needed for the month. I'm going to move the money back up to groceries and give myself a higher budget there. So that's how I figured out that. What Nick does show in his video is next month's funds. And so basically it's like, let's say you didn't spend everything. And you still had this 255, you can, let's say it's the end of the month, that's it, you're done. You spent everything you needed to spend. You're only spending $15 this month, and you have 255 remaining. You're going to move that to next month's funds. And this you drag over to August, it comes. So now you have 255 more to use for the next month. I want to play around more with this concept because his method is that you're supposed to be paying a month ahead, and not living paycheck to paycheck, kind of like paying things off a month ahead. So now we have, look how much more money available. So yeah, that's kind of like the concept, quick concept I'm learning too. So kind of what I gathered. For credit cards, let's say he says this is kind of tricky to play with, the guy Nick that I watched. So he said, focus on what you want to pay monthly for the card. So like if I have in my credit card 2K, what is your minimum payment, or what are you paying each month? So like I'm going to pay 150 a month. You save that target. And then when you have the money in your account, you assign it here. But, right now we have no money in our checking. So, like, let's make pretend we got paid again today. Company I work for, we're going to say this is money to assign because I just got paid $200. You come back to the plan, you see how you have $50 open now. Let's adjust this. Let's say they paid us $500. And pay it. The Paychecks credit card, let's say outflow 150. I spent it. So yeah, that's the concept I understand. And then this went down like our Chase credit card amount. Um, yeah, I hope this helps you a little bit. Again, I'm learning as well, so it's not polished, but let me see. Once you fund, it takes away from the available money. Groceries, assign. So yeah, I hope this helps you. Let me know. And good luck as well. Bye.